Welcome to Field Programmable Gate Arrays, or better known as FPGAs. An FPGA is basically a lookup table that you will program via software. So we'll take a collection of inputs that we have and determine the desired outputs and then program that into a device via some software. We'll either use schematic entry or a hardware description language. Basically, an FPGA is an integrated circuit, and that can be placed on very specific application circuit boards, or these chips are also placed on development boards, and those boards can be used to develop prototype systems. We'll be using a prototype board, the DE0, to learn some digital electronics. Whenever we work with these devices, we're going to have to consider all the documentation that comes along with it. There's a user manual, typically, schematic files, and there's also information on the pin assignments. There's some files that we'll have to look at and consider maybe as being part of our project there. The development board user manual will have information such as the general description and documentation of the device. Some important information that we'll need right up front will be the device family. We'll be using the Cyclone 3. Also the actual device, an EP3C16F484C6. Other information that's in the user manuals will be some of the features and components that are available on the device, such as switches, push buttons, LEDs, 7-segment displays. The DE0 board actually has an interface to a PS2 keyboard and a VGA interface as well. If we consider the schematics that come along with the device, you'll find information there for the different components that are on your development board. Some information on current overload protection, if there's any memory and what type of memory, how would you access the expansion headers for input, outputs, and what kind of power is available. When it comes to pin assignments, when we're usually looking at a smaller project, we're going to go ahead and manually input the pin assignments, and that's how we'll learn to do that initially. But whether we're working with VHD models or schematic models, the pin assignments have to be assigned. That's the interface to the outside world. We can bring sensor signals into the FPGA, have decisions made in the FPGA, and signals come out of the FPGA. So as I mentioned, with small models, we'll do this manually. With larger models, we can actually import a file of the pin assignments, and we'll do that in the Quartus 2 software, and we'll see that at a later time when necessary.